Hello and welcome to your 40-minute grounded yoga practice for the day. We'll begin in just a moment in a seated position. In today's completely grounded practice, I will take you through a sequence of asana and dynamic movements that have you staying on the ground for the duration of class, so you will never be in a standing position. As always, as you practice today, please listen to and honor your body. If there's something that I'm guiding that doesn't feel quite good for you or you'd like to adjust it to feel better, please do so. Begin by finding yourself seated in a comfortable cross-legged position or another one that feels good in your body. And wherever you land, bring your hands to rest on the tops of your thighs or knees, palms facing down. Once you're there, take a moment to sit up nice and tall, pulling the crown of your head up towards the sky, and gently shut your eyes. Let your shoulders relax down and away from your ears if they're holding any tension. Seal your lips and take a big inhale through your nose. And exhale, let the air back out through your nose. Settle into this seat, into this moment. When you're done, take 2 more breaths just like that. Now bring both hands to rest on your chest just underneath of your clavicles. Take a deep inhale and feel your chest rise as you fill all the way up. And quickly exhale through your nose, feel it drop. Deep inhale through the nose, feel your chest space rise and expand. Exhale, feel it quickly fall. One more, inhale, feel the rise beneath your hands. Quickly exhale, feel the sudden drop. Return to normal breathing and bring your hands down to rest on your knees. Flick your eyes open. On inhale, lift your arms up high and overhead, and exhale, relax your shoulders down and back. Inhale, reach high, shrug your shoulders. Exhale, twist towards your right. Left hand comes to the front of your right knee, right hand is behind you, gaze back. Inhale, release your twist and lift both arms back up through center. Exhale, twist to your left now, right hand to the front of your left knee, left hand to the ground behind you, look over that back shoulder. Inhale, release and reach high. Exhale, twist back towards your right, gaze back. Now inhale, lift your back right arm up and over towards your opposite knee, so towards your left knee here, gaze up under that bicep. Exhale. Bring that right hand back to the ground behind you. Inhale, release your twist, reach high, both arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach that back left arm up and over towards opposite right knee. Gaze up. And exhale, release your left hand back to the ground behind you. Inhale, lift both arms up high through center. And exhale, lower your hands down to your knees and then scooch either hand a little bit forward so that you're holding on to the front of either knee with either palm. On inhale, pull your chest forward, send your shoulders back and towards one another and arch your spine, gaze up towards the sky. On exhale, round in towards yourself, send your chest back, shoulders pull forward and towards one another, gaze towards your belly. Inhale, push forward and arch your spine, shoulders back and towards one another, gaze up. Exhale, begin to pull back, round your spine, curl in towards yourself and gaze down. Inhale, shift forward, arch your spine, gaze lifts for a seated cow. Exhale, round in towards yourself, pull back slightly for a seated cat. Continue this cat-cow motion a few more times at the pace of your own breath. You can feel free to keep it as is, or make it a little bit more flowy, blending inhales and exhales together with the rounding and arching of your spine. Let your body take it away. Now come back to a neutral seated position when you're ready. Let your shoulders fall down and away from your ears. And on inhale, lift your arms up high and overhead once again. Exhale, bring them down to the ground just in front of your legs. On inhale, sweep your left hand across your floor and over towards the far left side. Exhale, slowly sweep it over and towards the right side. Inhale, bring it back towards the left and in through center. Inhale, sweep your right hand over towards the far right side of your space. Exhale, cross it over, take it to the left. Inhale, sweep it back towards the right and back through center. Now on inhale, sweep that left hand over to the left. And exhale, take both hands over to the right, beginning to sway, trace, and explore your space with your hands. Start to sway both hands to either side as you move them. And then let your body get creative with this movement. Paint the floor with your hands. Explore its limits and its barriers, keeping your palms and your fingers glued to its surface. Move and explore to the pace of your breath. Gently guide your hands back through center onto the ground in front of you. Take a deep breath in. And on your breath out, sweep both of your legs behind you to bring yourself up onto all fours in a tabletop position. Your wrists should stack right underneath of your shoulders, and your knees should be about hip width apart, either knee stacking right under either hip. Gaze down towards your hands and spread your fingers wide, pushing your palms into the ground. On inhale, drop your belly, arch your spine, pull your shoulders back and towards one another, and gaze up. Exhale, push the ground away from you, round your spine, tuck your tailbone and your chin towards your chest. Inhale, drop your belly, arch your spine, now in a tabletop cow position. Exhale, push the ground away from you, round your spine for your tabletop cat. Inhale, drop your belly, arch your spine. Notice what feels different in this motion in a tabletop versus a seat. Exhale, push the ground away, round your spine. Inhale, drop your belly, arch your spine. Exhale, round. Inhale and drop your belly just to a neutral spine. And exhale, walk your palms slightly inward towards one another to shorten your stance. Now lift your left leg high behind you, knee bent at 90 degrees and your foot deeply flexed. Take an inhale and lift that leg higher towards the sky and point your toes. Exhale, begin to circle that left knee inward and down, creating full 360-degree circles with that knee as you breathe. The next time that leg is up and back behind you, pause. Inhale, flex your foot. Exhale, point your toes. Inhale, lift that leg a little higher, pulse it up. Exhale, now take your circles the other way. Notice if you can connect the speed of your breath to the speed of your circles moving in synchronicity. The next time your left leg is lifted up and back behind you, inhale, flex the foot and lift it higher, pulse up. Exhale, release back down to your tabletop. Now walk your hands back and welcome yourself to sit on your heels for a moment. Turn your gaze inward, gently closing your eyes and bring your attention back on to your breath. And watch how sensation changes in your body as you sit here and rest. Now flicker your eyes open and walk your hands forward to come back into that neutral tabletop. Find your balance and readjust, and then lift your right leg high behind you, knee bent at 90, foot flexed. Inhale, point the toes, lift that leg a little higher, pulse up. Exhale, begin to take your circles inward and then down towards your body. Pause when your right leg is lifted up and back. Start a new breath and reverse the direction of your circles, now evening it out on both sides. Pause with your right leg lifted up and back behind you. Flex your foot, take an inhale, pulse up. And exhale, release your right knee back down and walk your hands back to come and sit on your heels once again. Hands can rest by your sides or on the tops of your thighs. Draw your eyes to a close and turn your mind's eye to the feelings within. Notice what feels different in your body, physically, energetically, now that you've evened out your movement from the left side to the right. Now inhale, lift both arms up high and overhead, palms face the front of your space. Exhale, bend both elbows 90 degrees to cactus the arms, gently lean back and look to the sky. Inhale, reach high, palms touch, fingers interlace, but leave your pointer fingers extended long. Exhale, bend your elbows back, your fingers pointing towards the ground, gently lean back and gaze up. Inhale and exhale. Extend your arms long overhead once again, and then separate your hands and release them back to the ground and walk yourself back into your neutral tabletop. Engage your core by sucking your belly button up and back towards your spine, and extend your left leg long behind you, raised in the air, foot flexed so toes face the ground. On inhale, turn that left hip up and out so that your pinky toe side of your foot is facing the sky. Exhale, re-square the hips to the ground. Inhale, fan that left hip up and out, pinky toe edge to the sky. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, fan it up and out. Exhale, re-square your left hip to the ground. Inhale, fan it up and out. Exhale, you can stay here or lift your left arm high towards the sky as your left leg is lifted high behind you. Take an inhale, lift that left leg higher, pull up through your pinky toe. Exhale, stay here or reach your left hand back, bend your left knee and grab onto the inside of your left foot. Push through your foot at the same time as you pull through your hand to create a resistance here and lift. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, straighten your left leg and your left arm. Exhale, lower your left hand to the mat. Square your left hip to the ground and lower that knee back into your neutral tabletop. Now ground through your right palm. And on inhale, lift your left arm high towards the sky. Gaze up with your fingertips. Exhale, sweep your left hand right behind your right wrist. Inhale, push into the ground through your right hand. Lift your left arm high. Exhale, sweep that left hand down a little lower this time. Inhale, push down, lift up, chest opens to the left. Exhale, sweep your left arm all the way down this time until your left shoulder and side of head come to rest on the mat. Your right hand can stay here, or on inhale, lift it high. Exhale, take a bind by flipping your palm towards the left side of your space and lowering it just behind your low back or to the top of your left thigh. Take a few deep breaths in and out here. You can even let your eyes close if you'd like. On your next inhale, if you took a bind, release it and reach that arm high. And exhale, lower your right palm right next to your face. Push into the ground through your right hand and inhale, lift your left arm high. Exhale, plant the left hand right back down into tabletop. Readjust and find alignment here. Adjusting your wrists once again right under shoulders and knees under hips. Now extend your right leg long behind you, foot flexed so toes face down. On inhale, roll that right hip up and out so that the pinky toe edge of that foot is facing the sky. Exhale, re-square that right hip to the ground. Inhale, keep lifting, roll out that right hip. Exhale, re-square it down. Inhale, roll the right hip up and out so that right thigh faces the right. Exhale, re-square it down. Inhale, roll that right hip up and out. Exhale, you can stay here or lift your right arm high towards the sky. Embrace the wobbles here. Take an inhale and stay. Or exhale, reach your right arm back to grab the inside of your right foot. Create that tension between your hand and foot by pushing and pulling at the same time. And as you do so, lift that foot up a little higher towards the sky. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. Extend both limbs long. Right hand comes back down to the mat. Re-square your right hip and lower down to tabletop. Now actively push into the ground through your left hand and inhale, lift your right arm high. Exhale, sweep your right hand right behind your left wrist. Inhale, push and lift that right arm high. Exhale, sweep your right hand just a little bit lower this time. Inhale, lift and open your chest to the right, gaze follows fingertips. Exhale, this time sweep all the way down. Come to rest your right shoulder and the side of your head onto the mat. Left hand can stay here, or it can lift high behind you and take that same bind. Just because you took a bind on the last side does not mean that you have to on this side. Instead of letting your mind guide these self-cues, let your body tell you where it wants to go and listen. Once you've settled into your chosen shape, let your eyes close and draw your mind back onto the feeling of breath as it passes in and out. Release your bind if you took one and reach that hand high and place it right back down next to your face. Push into the ground through left hand, lift your right arm high, inhale. Exhale, lower your right hand down to your tabletop and take a breath. Now walk both hands forward about a hand length in front of you. Inhale, slide your left knee forward until it bumps the back of your left wrist. Exhale, scoot your left foot towards the right side of your mat until your left shin comes towards a parallel position to the front edge of your mat. It doesn't have to be completely parallel. Tuck your back right toes underneath of you, and using that foot, scoot your knee back until you lower your hips down onto the ground. Or if you'd like, you can place a prop, a blanket, or a block underneath of your left hip. Bring both hands underneath either shoulder and gaze towards the front of your space. Take a deep inhale, settle into your Kapotasana pigeon pose. Exhale, let it go. Take a deep breath in And on your breath out, choose to stay here upright or fold forward, bringing your forearms to the ground in front of your left shin. Forehead welcome to come down to the ground or your forearms. Notice if as you lay here you can shift slightly so that your weight comes a little bit more even into both hips rather than favoring the left. Breathe and hold here. Now, no matter where you are, find yourself with your hands just in front of your left shin with arms extended. Tuck your back right toes underneath of you once again and scooch that back right knee forward until you can safely bring your left knee back and readjust in your tabletop, back to your neutral place. Now lift your left knee up high towards your chest and then step that left foot through and in between your hands. Settle your weight into your front left hip. Bring your left hand onto the front of your left thigh. And on inhale, reach your right arm forward and up until it's right next to your right ear. Exhale, lift your left arm high to meet it, palms face each other. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, draw your thumbs towards the back edge of your mat. Lean back, look up. Inhale, release the back bend, reach high. Exhale, lower your hands to the ground just underneath your shoulders. Inhale, send your hips back and down. Let your left toes peel off of the mat. Invite that knee to straighten. Exhale, shift your weight forward. Inhale, send your hips back and down. Invite that left knee to come towards a straightened position. Exhale, deep bend back into the left knee. Plant the foot to the ground. Bring your palms back to the mat and step your left knee back to meet your right in your tabletop. Walk both hands forward in front of you a hand length again. Inhale, slide your right knee forward until it taps the back of your right wrist. Exhale, shimmy that right foot towards or past the midline of your body, inviting that shin to come towards a parallel position to the front of your mat. Tuck your back left toes underneath of you, and using your toes, scoot your left knee back and down so that you can lower your hips to the earth or again onto a blanket or a block to help you find support here. Bring both hands just underneath of either shoulder. Puff out your chest towards the front of your space and look forward or to where your wall meets your ceiling. Take a deep inhale here, other side of your Kapotasana pigeon pose, and exhale. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let yourself settle deeper. Now you can stay here, or just like last time, fold forward, bringing your forearms to the ground and your forehead to your forearms. If you're feeling lots of sensation in one part of your body, let your mind be completely focused on that feeling. And direct all of your breaths, inhales and exhales, right to that place as you hold. Wherever you are, find yourself back upright with your hands in front of your right shin. Tuck your left toes behind you once again, and now scooch that knee forward until you can safely bring your right knee back to tabletop. Now hug your right knee up high towards your chest, squeeze it high, and then step your right foot through and in between your hands. Settle into that right hip. Bring your right hand up to the top of your right thigh. Inhale, sweep your left arm forward and up to frame your head. Exhale, lift your right arm up to meet it and flip your palms so they face each other. Inhale, draw your thumbs back, lean back, look up. Exhale, lift back through center and lower your hands down just below your shoulders onto tented fingertips. Inhale, send your hips back and down. Let your right toes peel off of the mat to help you straighten that right leg. Exhale, deeply bend into the right knee. Your whole foot meets the ground here. Inhale, send the hips back and down. Notice how far your right knee wants to extend. Exhale, deep bend, send it forward. Now slide your right knee back into your neutral tabletop position. Now keeping your knees stacked right above your hips, lower down onto your forearms and draw your shoulder blades back in towards one another to open your chest here and gaze forward. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, let it go. Now remove any arch in your spine by sucking your belly button up and back and gaze towards your knees. Tuck both sets of toes underneath of you, and on inhale, lift your knees up off of the ground. Hips are sent towards the sky into a variant of a downward facing dog. Bend one knee and then the other to pedal out your legs before settling into stillness, drawing both heels towards the ground. They do not need to touch the ground here. Push through your shoulders into the ground to lift you here. Gaze towards your toes. Inhale, settle in. Exhale. Inhale, shift your weight forward onto your toes, hips lift higher. Exhale, gently lower your knees down to the ground and untuck your toes. You can stay here, or if you'd like another experience, keep your hips and knees here, but walk your arms forward in front of you, nice and long. Lower your chest towards but not to the ground, and continue squeezing your shoulder blades back and towards one another to keep your chest open and your elbows lifted. Take a deep inhale here in your puppy pose, Utthana Shishasana, and exhale. Shift your weight forward, no matter where you are, slowly lower down onto your belly and slide your palms back so that they're stacking right underneath of your shoulders. Your chin can touch the ground. Separate your legs behind you so they're about hips width distance apart, and actively press the tops of your feet and thighs into the ground. Slide your palms back until thumbs point at about mid-rib and squeeze your shoulders back and towards one another. On inhale, lift your chest and head high, stay light in your hands. Exhale, gently lower back down. Inhale, lift your chest and head, push your pelvis into the ground as you do so. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest and head, baby cobra bhujangasana. And exhale, walk your hands out off of the mat to either side and come up onto tented fingertips. Inhale, lift your chest and head a little bit higher. Exhale, melt down to the ground, keep your shoulders engaged. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lift your chest and head high, glutes light up behind you. Exhale, melt down. Inhale, roll up. And exhale, bring your palms back to the mat just under either shoulder. And relax down. Now extend your left arm long beside you at shoulder height, palm facing down, and keep your right hand here. Bend both knees so shins lift off the ground and bring the insides of either foot to touch. On inhale, roll onto your right hip and thigh and let both feet tap the ground behind you. Knees are apart here. Gaze towards your left fingertips. Exhale, bring both hips back down to the ground and switch out your arms. Right arm extended long and the palm of your left hand on the ground, right under your left shoulder. On inhale, shift your weight onto your left hip and thigh now. Knees stay open, feet touch the ground. And exhale, bring both hips back to the earth at center. Bring both hands just under your shoulders and squeeze them back and towards one another. And on inhale, push into the ground and lift yourself back to tabletop. Sweep your legs underneath of you to lower down onto your sitting bones, and then scoot your glutes forward until you're sitting at about the center of the mat. Extend your right leg long towards the right corner of the mat and gently guide your left knee out and down to open your hip, and then adjust your left foot so that the sole of that foot is on the inside of your right thigh. Bring a hand to either side of that right leg and sit tall. Inhale, reach both arms high and overhead. Exhale, hinge forward with a flat spine, and when you can no longer keep that flat back, Then allow your spine to relax, drape forward, and bring your head towards your knee. It doesn't have to touch your knee. Your hands can rest on the ground beside your right leg. They can come to your shin or to your right foot, anywhere that they feel comfortable for your Janu Shirshasana pose. As you stay here for the next few moments, actively reach through your right heel towards the front of your space and breathe. Now slide your palms back until either one is under either shoulder. And on inhale, lift yourself up to sit tall once again. Exhale and bring your left hand palm facing down a couple of inches behind your left hip. Scoot your left knee out slightly. Now on inhale, scoop your right arm forward and up. Press through your knee and your left hand to lift your hips and shine your heart to the sky. Right arm comes back, palms facing up. Right foot is planted to the mat. Take a deep breath in your mini wild thing. And exhale, retrace your steps, lower your hips to the ground, and face your torso forward. Now switch out your legs. Extend your left leg long towards the left corner of your mat. Bend your right knee and bring the sole of that right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Either hand comes to either side of that left leg and sit tall. Now inhale, extend both arms high overhead. Exhale, hinge forward with a flat back, and then release down. Drape your head towards your knee and find a comfortable place for your hands to rest. Actively reach through that left heel and breathe here, welcoming and feeling any differences in sensation rather than labeling them or judging them. Now slide your palms back until they're right underneath of either shoulder, and on inhale, lift your chest once again. Bring your right hand a couple of inches behind your right hip and scoot your right knee out slightly. On inhale, scoop your left arm forward and up, press into your right knee and right hand, lift your hips high, shine your chest towards the sky. Left arm is up and back overhead, left foot is planted to the mat. Inhale, reach through that left hand. Exhale, retrace your steps, lower your hips back to the earth, and bring your torso to face forward. Bend both of your knees so the soles of either foot is on the mat. Bring your hands just underneath of your thighs on the backs of your knees, and pull your thighs towards you to help you sit up even taller. Lean back slightly and lift one foot off of the ground, knee bent at about 90, and then the other. Keep your feet flexed and keep your hands here or reach your arms forward and long, palms face each other. You can stay here in your Urdhva Navasana boat pose or extend both knees long and point your toes. Another option here, grab the inside of either heel with either hand and extend those legs long, drawing them out towards the sides of your space, sitting tall. Inhale. And exhale, no matter where you are. Come back to that neutral upward boat pose with both knees bent, and slowly lower yourself down to lay on your back. Feet are planted to the ground. Now bring both arms out to a T position at shoulder height, palms face down. On inhale, lift both feet off of the ground, knees bent at 90, stacking right over your hips. And exhale, let both knees fall towards the left side of your space and turn your head so that you can gaze over your right fingertips in this gentle supine twist. Intentionally let each breath that you take here help you notice the sensation of this twist in your torso and spine a little bit more. Turn your head back through center, and on inhale, lift both knees back through center over your hips. On your exhale, drop your knees to the right side and turn your head to gaze over your left fingertips. Eyes can also close here. This time as you lay here, draw each breath a little bit longer and a little bit louder than the one before it. Let your breath gain volume and power in this twist. Gently guide your head back through center once again, and inhale, lift both knees back through center. Exhale, lift your chest, squeeze your knees in towards your chest, curl up like a little ball, and then extend long. Let your legs come long down the length of your mat. Let your arms come down by your sides, palms facing up for your final Shavasana corpse pose. When your mind humanly begins to wander to other things, invite it back into this moment in this body by settling your attention back onto breath and how it feels to breathe in this vessel. Now gently begin to move your fingers and then begin to move your toes at the same time. Let the little wiggle that you bring to them become a little bit larger, rolling out your wrists and your ankles if that feels good for you. Now bend one knee, planting the sole of the foot onto the mat, and let your body settle into this. Now bend the other knee, planting that foot to the mat. Take a breath. Now scoot your hips over to one side of the mat to roll over and rest on one side. And then when you're ready, gently push yourself up and find a comfortable seat. It can either be the same or a little bit different from the one you began your practice in. Find comfort here and rest your hands onto your knees, this time palms facing up. Once you've made it here, let your eyes close and draw your mind to the places where your body is connecting to the ground in this moment. Feel the gentle pressure of your limbs on the earth and of the earth pushing back up into you. This earth supports you. It carries your weight. It allows you to move and breathe and live in this human body, the biggest manifestation of life and spirit that there is. On inhale, gently lift both arms up and overhead and touch your palms over top of you. And exhale, bend your elbows, send your palms to heart center, and bow your head. The light and the love within me honors, sees, and respects the light and the love within you. You are now completed with your 40-minute grounded yoga practice for your day. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed this practice as much as I enjoyed creating it and delivering it to you. And I hope that it's left you with a sense of stillness and groundedness and peace within. You are always welcome to join for another class soon. I post every Monday and Thursday, and I hope to see you then.